Grip socks are great, and now they're even better with Pure Grip Socks Pro. Better fit, moisture wicking, amazing comfort, and all the extra grip you need. Choose from 10 different colors for just $16.99 a pair at puregripsocks.com.
When it comes to picking out a new pair of football boots, everybody has different preferences and tends to gravitate towards certain products for whatever reason, whether it's features, whether it's fit, whether it's comfort, whether it's even just looks. Everybody has their own opinion, which is why we tend not to agree that one option out of all of them is the best. But when you're talking about the speed category specifically, I think it's more competitive now than it's ever been. And if you're trying to decide between the three big brands and their current offerings, there's really no bad choice. But now that they've all been out there for a little over a month and I've had some time to reflect on what those options are, I'm starting to think that there's a clear winner. And it's this football boot right here, the Puma Ultra 1.3 in the latest Eclipse Pack colorway, which I must say, while very simple, looks absolutely incredible. This being Puma's flagship speed boot that's not only lighter than its competition by quite a large margin, it's also the least expensive, bearing a retail price of $200, which by the way is $50 less than any of the Nike or Adidas alternatives. So if you're purely a value for money type of person, then by all means, this is the top end speed boot that you should buy. And that's not to say that $200 is necessarily affordable, but considering how much these cost compared to the competition, given the materials, technology, and performance that you get out of the product, there's no denying that this is the best value. But does it beat the competition in other categories as well? I want to talk about exactly that in today's video as we detail these boots, including how they fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more, please stick around and watch the entire review. And if you are interested in a pair for yourself, while they're already less expensive than the competition, you can get them for even less by checking out the first link down below. That's going to take you to the review page on my website, where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes, where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $200 retail price. As always, if you guys do end up enjoying the video, please don't forget to support it with a like. And also guys, I have a goal of 750,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of the year. Thank you to everyone that has been subscribed up until this point. But if you watch the content, enjoy it, but maybe aren't subscribed to the channel, it would mean the world to me if you could hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification so you get notified when the next new video goes live. So first things first, I mentioned the weight, and the very first time you get to hold these in your hand, and certainly when you put them on your feet, I think that is the one element that really stands out. These are effectively weightless. In a size 9.5 US, on a scale, you can see that they weigh in at 5.7 ounces, the equivalent of 161 grams, which is far and away the lightest regular model football boot that you can buy right now, meaning non-limited edition. And if you're comparing it again to its competition from Nike and Adidas, the next closest option would be the X Speedflow Plus, which of course is a laceless boot, quite a bit different, retails for $75 more, and still weighs in at 6.7 ounces in this size, which is very lightweight, but nowhere near as light as the Ultra. For those that were fans of the Adidas F50 Adizero from back in the day, because of how light they are, these are effectively the exact same weight, which is just ridiculous considering how much everything has improved on these football boots compared to speed boots from 10 years ago. And then there's the upper, this being their Matrix Evo upper, which is reinforced by what they call a speed cage, which you can see is a liner on the inside that has these little cutouts and is a little bit more difficult to see on this mostly black colorway, but the upper is effectively thin, semi-translucent plastic reinforced by these little yarns or cables that are made out of a variety of different materials. It's more dense through the toe box and forefoot area, thins out a little bit as you get towards the back part of the forefoot, and then gets even thinner towards the midfoot, and then of course thick again towards the heel. What's great about this upper is not just the fact that it's extremely lightweight, but it offers an incredible barefoot feel for the ball. If you're looking for a touch that offers no padding whatsoever and is effectively the closest thing to not wearing any shoes at all, this is the thinnest option currently on the market. It is incredible in that regard, and given how thin it is, I think Puma have done a really good job at adding structure to the material, where with the laces tied tight, your foot feels locked in. The new shape that they've gone with, which does differ quite a bit from the Ultra 1.1 and 1.2 that this model replaces, wraps your foot very closely. Probably the second best fitting football boot next to the Mercurial if you're looking for that perfect wrap, kind of that one-to-one sensation. But in general, this upper from a touch and performance perspective is just, again, pretty much best in class. Not by a lot, because I think Adidas and Nike are both very competitive with their upper offerings. But again, considering the much lower price tag that this football boot has, I think what you're getting here is arguably just as good, if not better, than the competition. It's also worth mentioning that this boot does feature their Grip Control Pro coating, which isn't so much a texture on the surface, although there is some of that because of the construction of the upper, but more so this sticky finish that you have on the upper that does provide additional grip on the ball, more so than what you're going to find, again, from the Nike and Adidas alternatives. When it comes to sole plates and stud patterns, there's an argument to be made that what Puma has done here on the Ultra 1.3 isn't as fancy or as high-tech as what's on offer from both Nike and Adidas, but it performs the part. You have what they call a speed unit outsole, which is made from a Pebax material. It's got a little bit more flexibility than what you're gonna find from both the Nike and Adidas alternatives, which might be your cup of tea, but it still has that little bit of spring back to it. It by no means feels flimsy. It also does feature the external heel counter, which I'm a big fan of. And then the stud pattern, while technically branded as FGAG, you can see it does feature these chevron bladed studs, which does compare more closely to what you'll find from the Mercurial versus what's on offer from the X Speedflow, and it offers really aggressive traction on natural grass. It'll also work on AG surfaces, although personally, I find this to be a little bit clingy and borderline unsafe, not to mention the studs are on the longer side, which I don't think is ideal for use on artificial grass. So I guess Puma is saying you can do it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but when you're talking about outright objective performance in terms of bite when pushing off, accelerating, decelerating on natural grass fields, this is pretty much on par with the Mercurials, maybe a smidge behind, but I think for most people, it's going to perform pretty well to the exact same standard, which is the best of the best. And then there's the fit and comfort of the Ultra 1.3, which is incredibly impressive considering how thin the upper is. It doesn't feel too stiff or plasticky or anything like that. It does lack padding, of course, but that is something that you actually want in a football boot like this. And also considering how thin the upper is and how light the boots are, they are remarkably comfortable. The changes that they've made to the shape of this boot compared to the previous generation Ultra, I think are for the better. And all of that is, of course, enhanced with a pair of Pure Grip Socks Pro, which I'm currently wearing here in red. For those that don't know, Pure Grip Socks is my own brand. This Pro variation is new. It features an upgraded material that is super soft, super stretchy, and of course features the grips along the bottom of the foot and back of the heel to help reduce slippage inside your boots. They're available now in a wide variety of colors for just $16.99 a pair. If you're interested in trying some out for yourself, the website to visit is puregripsocks.com, which of course will be linked down below. From a shape and width perspective, like I mentioned, they have changed it from the previous generation Ultra, where a lot of people complained about there being too much width and certainly too much volume. They've fixed both of those things with the Ultra 1.3, where there's less volume overall, but not to the point where they are definitely shallow fitting football boots. There's good depth all the way through, certainly through the heel. The lockdown is fantastic. And from a width perspective, they've just taken it in a little bit. So it's a little bit tighter pretty much in every area of the foot, making for a really secure feel with the laces tied tight. This is one of those speed boots that's going to be suitable for most people. Obviously, it's for somebody that wants that tight wrap around your foot. So as long as you don't have excessively wide feet, I think this is a boot that will fit most people. And then as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing these in my usual size 9.5 US, and the fit and the length is perfect. So if you're looking to order a pair for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. So obviously I very strongly recommend the Puma Ultra 1.3. From a value for money perspective, even though we're talking about a pair of football boots that retail for $200, there is not a better value amongst the top end speed boot options that are currently available. Now, I'm not going to say that you should just buy the Puma Ultra if you're on the market for a speed boot. I think that there still isn't anything that fits quite like a Mercurial, so if that's your thing, go for the Mercs. If you love the Carbitex insert on the Speedflow models, those are great as well, and the laceless design of that Speedflow Plus is unlike anything else that I've worn. But all of those options that I just mentioned are far more expensive, and while offer a different experience, they are objectively not better and arguably worse in a lot of ways than what you get for $200 from the Ultra 1.3. Anyways guys, that's it for this review. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to support it with a like. Again, if you're interested in a pair for yourself, first link down below, go ahead and check that out. Any questions, as always, feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. If you aren't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you hit that subscribe button along with the little bell notification so you get notified when the next new video goes live. You can find all my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.